So we are here in my shop and I've got my brand new 2023 Nitro Z21 XL. And man, this is an incredible fishing machine. So I've been with Nitro for 34 years. I got my first Nitro in 1989. It was a 190 TF, and boy, have they come a long way since then. So we're gonna do a full walkthrough video, show you everything that we've got rigged on this boat, some of the little things that I like to do to kind of tweak it for my own personal preferences, but we're gonna go through the whole thing, so get ready. So starting at the back, first and foremost is the power plant. You know, my Mercury 250 Pro XS, just an incredible engine. You know, unbelievable whole shot, fuel efficiency, top end, mid-range, torque. It's just the best in class outboard out there, and it's been bulletproof for me. I love this engine. I've got it on an Atlas, you know, TH Marine Atlas hydraulic jack plate. Does a fantastic job for me for top end performance. But not only that, in shallow water areas, I can get up on plane in real shallow water. I can idle through no wake zones a lot faster without making any wake or anything like that. So if you want the top performance out of any bass boat, you need a hydraulic jack plate, and Atlas is the best in the business. We've got a few other little things, you know, for trailering. I've got my TH Marine steer stops that keeps that engine straight. Motor sticks, again, for protecting that. You know, the Nitro trailer comes standard with the automatic boat buckles on it. We've got the built-in swim ladder. I mean, safety is absolutely critical. And, you know, this is something that they integrated a long time ago, and it's, you know, it's still a big part of the Z21 XL. This rear design just planes super quickly. I mean, this boat, the bow barely comes up at all. You're never having to, you know, fight to see over your console. It just rockets right out of the hole with this hull design on this particular boat. So just a great setup. I've got a Mercury Fury prop on there. It's a 23 3-blade. Does a fantastic job for me, really in all situations. In real cold water, other, you know, situations where I'm not carrying a heavy load, I can go up to a 24, but this prop right here on this setup on this boat does an amazing job. So for boat control, I've got two Minn Kota Raptors mounted on the back here, and they are the ultimate in shallow water anchors. So I can put these down and they're quiet and they hold no matter what the conditions do. You know, if I shift my weight one side or the other, they automatically adjust and they sense the hard or softness of the bottom to hold you in place no matter what happens out there on the water. A big wave comes in or a boat wake, it's not going to change it, and I can run them by the remote at the console. I've got stomp switches at the front, and I can even run them off the depth finder screen. That's part of the One Boat Network, having, you know, all the technology, all work and think together, and that's something that's a big advantage. Another thing I added was the built-in running light onto my Raptor right here, and that allows me to use a YOLOTech mount in my running light. So this way I can run my, you know, point of view cameras all day long, keeps power to them constantly. I can also use it as a light if I need to. Just works great, so it gives me the option to do both, and I never have to stick my light pole in that way. So at the console, I've got a lot going on here. So I've got two Humminbird Solix 12 units. Basically here on the console, I run these, one of them on side imaging, down imaging, sonar, and the other one just for lake master mapping. But I have the option to be able to run anything on these screens back here. You know, I can run my Mega Live back here to the back, so if my partner wants to be able to see that, he can see my Mega 360. I can run any of my graph screens through these particular two graphs, but how I use them most of the time is that way there. You know, the steering wheel is fully adjustable. I've got a TH Marine hot foot on a adjustable pad, so you can get the exact right distance for your foot. I mean, I think that's critical. It keeps both hands on the wheel in rough water. I don't have to control the throttle, you know, with my hands at all. So again, it's just from a safety standpoint and just from a fatigue standpoint in rough water, having that hot foot, having this adjustable steering wheel, and then having a seat that they put in the Z21 XL. I mean, this thing is awesome. It's really a NASCAR inspired seat. So it's kind of a bucket type design, and it's got a built-in lumbar, so you can adjust it. You know, it's got a bag in the back, so you can adjust it to tilt you forward to, you know, to give you the most comfortable driving position no matter what the conditions are. Another big improvement this year is the new all-digital Z Touch screen. So it gives you the option right away to start the live well for your first fish, for shallow water to automatically adjust and trim your engine and your jack plate, whole shot. It's got a lot of cool modes to it, you know, night mode. It's just got a lot of different things, and it's all digital and touchscreen this year. So Beyond that, I've got my gauges. I also have a control for my Raptor here. I just mounted one so that I can, put my Raptors up and down. I can also control them from my depth finder screens. It just gives me full operation of everything right here at the console. Another nice thing is I've added 2 of the turn signal style controllers for my trim and for my Atlas jack plate, so I can control that again. Have my hands on the wheel, just reach down and control that trim and jack plate while I'm on the fly. One of the nice additions that I've added is the Kicker Bluetooth audio system to it. So, the controls are right here. It gives me multiple charging ports now. I've got a USB port here. And I also have a cell phone holder with multiple USB ports, so if I need to charge my phone here, or if I want to run my action cameras, things like that, gives me multiple power ports. I also keep a Raptor switch right here, so I can control my Raptors from here. I can also do it from my depth finder screen. Just gives me everything right here at my fingertips at the console. The front deck is where you spend most of your time on a bass boat, and I have a lot of stuff up here to talk about. So first and foremost, I've got a Hydrowave. It's mounted with a speaker right on the trolling motor. This is the KVD model that has 25 built-in sound patterns. They're all basically my design. A lot of them are specific for certain fishing conditions. Hydrowave is something that I just will not fish without. I've got 3 Solix 12s up here. If you'd have told me at the beginning of my career that I would need 5 graphs on my boat, I'd have told you you're crazy. But it's so important now with forward-facing sonar, with Mega 360, to have all of this technology up here. So I've got a triple mount system. I've got my Mega Live, my Mega 360, and again, a target lock, so I can control that Mega Live transducer independently of the trolling motor itself. So I'm thinking about adding one to the shaft as well to be able to do it both ways. So I've got my Mega Live controls here. Again, with that target lock, it allows me to have a Minn Kota steer feature, which will track the trolling motor. So it just follows right along wherever I point the trolling motor. I can use it on scan mode, where it basically has 120 degrees where it goes back and forth. And I use that mode an awful lot. It just allows me to be constantly searching around the boat to not only see fish, but to see structure. It'll show me, I can see the drop-offs, I can see weed lines, I can see underwater brush, all different types of things. So that scan mode is a big player. And then I can also target lock. So if I hit the target lock button on my Mega Live, I can drive a complete circle with my Ultrex all the way around it, and it'll keep that transducer locked on that one exact spot. So if I put it on a brush pile, I can just follow that around and make a full loop all the way around it and keep that Mega Live beam focused right where I have it pointed. So it's a great technology. It just is amazing to be able to have that kind of control up here on the front. On top of that, I've got a Minn Kota Ultrex. It is just an incredible motor. It has changed the way that we fish. With the electric steer, spot lock, it just gives me the ultimate in boat control. You pair an Ultrex with 2 Minn Kota Raptors on the back of the boat, and it just, boat positioning, boat control is just not a problem anymore. It's just effortless, and it's just a great system to go. So I've got all of this up here. It creates an issue power-wise sometimes to have this much electronics, trolling motor and things up here. I've got dedicated power run to each of these units. Also my 2 console graphs. I've got a C-Clear harness in there as well, and that is really important. I want to have the clearest picture possible, so making sure that you get your electronics and trolling motor rigged properly is really, really important. And it's something that a lot of people never really put a lot of focus into, but it's something that's really important. So the guys at DNR did my electronics this year, and they did a lot of cool things on that. Again, just to be sure that I'm not going to have any interference or any power issues at all. So on top of that, I've got a troll tamer from TH Marine to hold that Ultrex in place. There's a lot of weight here, with a Mega 360, target lock, all of that on the front. There's a lot of weight. So I've got this troll tamer, and we've kind of got it a morph between the Minn Kota, stop system and then this particular version right here. So we kind of built the 2 together. It makes it real easy. So it locks it in place. All I got to do is reach there with my foot, hit that little lever to deploy the trolling motor. I've got a G-force handle on it, which is a cable, so it makes it really easy to lift. This new Minn Kota Ultrex mount has a larger shock piston into it. Again, this adds some extra weight up there, so it makes that lift assist a lot easier to deploy and stow the trolling motor. And then on top of that, I've got an adjustable quick release mount for my Mega 360. So, I mean, this stuff right here, all of this technology, having the one boat network and everything that I've got from Minn Kota and Humminbird, I mean, it is the heart and soul of what I do on the water when I'm tournament fishing. I mean, to have Lake Master mapping, to have side imaging, to have down imaging, to have Mega 360, to have target lock with Mega Live and an Ultrex trolling motor, Raptors on the back. It's the ultimate in fish finding and boat control, all blended together. And you know, a lot of people may say it's a lot of overkill, but if you're gonna compete at the top level on the tour, I just have to have it. Everybody out there is stepping up their game. Electronics keep getting bigger and better every year, so this is the best system that I've ever had. Having all the best accessories for your trolling motor is really important, and again, this is that Mega 360 quick detach adjustable mount. So, you know, our first tournament, we're at the Kissimmee chain, and you know, I may be offshore or I may be up in the Kissimmee grass and thick hydrilla mats where I'm not going to be able to use this Mega 360. So it allows me to either quickly adjust it and move it out of the way, or if I want, I can take it off real quick. And same thing with the target lock. I can quickly adjust it and get it up out of the water so it's not catching a lot of grass. I have these other great accessories as well. So I've got a TH Marine grass goat here. Knowing that I'm going to a place that's gonna have a ton of grass, I've got this mounted, you know, as the prop comes around, it just cuts the grass and sheds it, makes it actually shed off the head of the trolling motor real well. I've got my Hydrowave transducer mounted on the front, got a built-in down imaging transducer here. I also have an eliminator nut on my Ultrex. I think it really just balances the motor out even a little bit more, makes it a little bit quieter and that much more efficient. So all of these things are really critical to me when I'm out there on the water. So one of the things that I really love about my Z21 XL is the rear battery storage compartment. I mean, it's so open, it's got a lot of room, and it's easy to access everything. So they give you this nice little storage tray, which I can keep a spare rope, prop wrench, things like that in. There's a dedicated spot for a spare prop. And I'm running 3 Lithium Pros batteries total for my power system. These 3 batteries are equivalent to 6 31 series standard lead acid batteries. So I've got a ton of power, even with all the electronics and extras that I have to manage that. So for my crank battery, again, it's a 215 amp hour battery. It's basically the equivalent of 3 31 series. It's mounted underneath over to the side, and I have a dedicated power switch just for my electronics. I have one for my engine, and then I have one also for the 36 volt side for the Ultrex trolling motor. So to power my 36 volt Ultrex, I have 2 Lithium Pros, 65 amp hour lithium batteries. Again, there's 36 volts each of them, just a ton of power. I can run on high all day long. I've fished at Lake St. Clair in the river in the current where I'm basically running my Ultrex all day long on high, and I've never even come close to scratching those on it. I've got a Minn Kota built-in battery charger to charge up my battery system. And again, everything's neat and clean. They've got a lid where you can lift it up to get your bilge pumps. I've got a spare prop space back here, and you know, 2 pumps for my Raptors, and I still have plenty of room. It's clean, neat, open, and plenty large to access everything. The rear casting platform has got a ton of room for your partner, and it also gives you a lot of storage. So there's 2 big storage boxes, both on the sides. They've got little molded in ridges, so you can put 3700 series boxes. You can take them out, and again, it just gives you great access to all the plumbing on the live well system, and that it's just really well thought out, and it's just a great system. The live well system itself is really, really ingenious. So it's got oxygenators standard. It's got this roto-molded live well with the built-in baffle system so that even in rough water, that water can't slosh around. It's keeping those fish from getting banged around or beat up in there. And again, it's got a freshwater pump for each side and a recirculating pump, and they're high output pumps. So puts a lot of fresh water in there. You're definitely gonna keep your catch alive. Built-in integrated nitro measuring board right here for it. And then I love this little feature right here. So you can get a 3rd seat cushion, but I've got the C-deck in the floor. I love this. It's really easy to clean up and wash up. If you have carpet, it's just holding water. in here. I can keep my iPilot link, I can keep my cell phone, and it just keeps it nice and handy and dry right here. It's just a great little storage option to have extra little room. And then going forward, I have a ton of storage on the front deck. So the whole Nitro Pro team worked really close with the engineers to design the Z21 XL, especially the storage layout, the tackle storage, rod storage here in the front. I love the big insulated rotomolded cooler, the integrated trash can for it. We've got a little sandwich bucket over there that you can take in and out. So it's just a great system, holds ice exceptionally well. We've got a little pull-out drawer on this side, perfect for storing your partners, things like that. You can get the second console very well. So, if you have your wife or your girlfriend or your team partner and you want to get a dual console, it actually just bolts right in. I prefer the single console myself. And then one of the big things is this center split storage. So I love this particular option. It's designed with bait keeper tabs up here to put your soft plastics in. It's got magnetic lure keepers right here for it to actually put crankbaits and things like that in there. I can put almost 30 stowaway utility type boxes here. You can just stack them in here, organize them whichever way you want. And it's got rod storage that actually goes above them. The rod boxes are so big that I generally don't have to use it, but you do have the option to put another 10 rods on your double split storage. But it makes it very nice because I can sit on one side of the box, open this one, get to the tackle that I need. I can move over to this side, come to this particular box and get to whatever that I need in here. Again, it's just got a lot of great storage, and it stacks those boxes where I can see everything that I've got. So the rod storage is massive as well. So it's got integrated tubes in here. And again, what I like to do is I use rod sleeves, and I'll end up I can easily fit 35 rods in this particular box alone. So I typically set this up to where I put all my bait cast outfits in here. And then on the opposite side, which is just a big open storage compartment where my running lights, pedestal poles, things like that are at, I can put some spinning rods and things over there as well. But just a ton of storage integrated here into the front deck of this Z21. And it's one of the things that I think you can never have too much of is tackle storage. Adding this day box storage to the front deck was a really great idea. So, it's just for those things that you're using a lot of. I typically put, some extra bags of soft plastics, things that I'm using a lot. It's right here where I'm spending my time on the front deck. Quick and easy to access. They're waterproof, just keeps them right there where they're handy. I travel thousands and thousands of miles all around the country every year towing my Nitro, so having a custom match trailer is a must for me. So it's got all the features that I'm looking for. So first off, it's tandem axle. It's got good low profile wheels. It's got a great shock system to it. I add TH Marine rock lights to it. So the whole boat and the trailer, I'm just a big advocate of lights. I spend a lot of time driving at night in the rain, things like that. Not only does it help me see the trailer, but it helps everyone around me see my boat and trailer as well. So I do that. They have an integrated little storage box on the front for your wheel chocks, swing away tongue, so it'll fit into even the tightest garage. And I love that step pad system to be able to climb in and out of the front of the boat with that pole up there. Just makes it really handy, when you're launching and loading or loading gear from your truck into your boat. So here it is. That's my Nitro Z21 XL, front to back, all the accessories, my electronics, everything the way that I like to have it rigged. Look forward to getting it out on the water and looking forward to a great season.